What is up, guys? It's Dropheadzz, and today I'm gonna show you how I made my latest remix of Troyboi, Do You, and this is what it sounds like.
Do you love me? Do you need me?
So with this remix, I really like the vibe that the original has, but I wanted to make it into a more of a house track. So let's just start with the intro. So the intro is very simple, just some drums and some elements from the drop. So I use the bass line and some vocals. So this is what it sounds like. So as you can hear, I use some low pass filter on the bass line, and I also removed the sub from the bass line. And besides that, I just added some white noise effects and stuff like that, just to make it a little bit more interesting. So then from the intro, we go straight into the first breakdown / build up.
Do you love me? Do you love me?
So as you can hear, again, very simple build up. I just used some build up snares, added some low pass filter on it, and automated the pitch. Then again, I used the bass line from the drop with some low pass filter on it and high pass filter on it as well, so it sits more in the background. I used the vocal from the original, which has a lot of reverb on it. So besides that, I also automated the master stereo button and the master volume, so the track actually gets a little bit quieter and also completely mono right before the drop. So then when the drop actually hits, the track sounds a bit wider and a bit louder as well. So yeah, that's it for the first build up. So let's go to the drop.
Do you love me? Do you need me?
So for the drop, I just kind of recreated the bass line from the original, but I added a bit different groove to it. So the bass line is actually made out of two layers. So first we have this bottom layer, which I made in Serum. So on its own, it sounds like this. So as you can hear, it's just two sine waves with a little bit of FM, some white noise, phaser filter, and then some distortion, low pass filter, and then some multiband compression. And then inside the mixer, I just added some EQ to remove the sub, and then also made some room in the high end for the top layer. Then for the top layer, I actually sampled it from the original because I just wanted to have that texture that the original bassline had. So it's just this short sample. Yeah, in the mixer again, I added some EQ to remove the low end and then boosted some of the highs, some OTT, and then some more EQ. And then I actually routed both of those channels to a bus channel where I processed them as as one sound. So here I added some multiband compression, some EQ to remove the sub, some Camel Crusher for distortion, some more OTT, some small EQ, and then some saturation, and then some more saturation. And that's basically it. And I do this a lot because it's very helpful to process if you have like sound made out of two layers, so you can just process each layer individual to kind of clean it up, but then route them both to one bus channel and then add distortion and compression and EQ and stuff like that to really glue those two layers together and create one big sound. Then I also added some other sounds to the drop. So we have this sound right here, which is this really distorted sine wave. And then I have this other distorted bass right here, which is layered with the vocal from the original. So both together it sounds like this. I'm gonna include the download link for all the presets from this remix in the description below. So if you want to download them all for free, you can find the download link in the description. Then I also used some vocals and some samples from the original. So we have this vocal, and then this vocal right here.
Do you need me? Do you need me?
So just some short fills and stuff like that, just to make the track a little bit more interesting. Then on the second part of the drop, I added this top melody, which is again made in Serum, and it's very simple. It's just 2 square waves. One is detuned a little bit, and then I just added some hyper and dimension to make it a little bit wider. And then in the mixer, I just added some EQ to remove the low end, some saturation, some reverb. Then I used this FabFilter Pro Q to remove the stereo information from the low end so it doesn't phase, and then some more EQ on the high end, and that's basically it for this layer. So on its own it sounds like this. So yeah, that's basically it for the first drop. Now let's go to the second breakdown. So in the second breakdown, let's just have a quick listen.
Do you love me? Do you love me?
So yeah, as you can hear, I added this sample from the original. And then, you know, just added some like simple effects and stuff like that. And then on the second build up, I made this vocal risers effect, or whatever you want to call it. So it's made in Fruity Granulizer, which is this really cool plugin, and I just used this really short sample, and then I automated, you know, different parameters inside the plugin, and you know, some reverb and stuff like that, and it sounds like this. So yeah, really simple but kind of cool effect. Besides that, again, I used the bass line from the drop on the build-up, some build-up snares, and some effects. So from there, we go into the second drop.
Do you love me? Do you need me? Do you need me? Do you love me?
So yeah, as you can hear, it's pretty similar to the first one. I just added some more elements to give it even more energy. So we have this vocal, and then I added some more cymbals and percussions. And then I also used this ride sample, which I use on many of my tracks because it adds a lot of energy, and it's just this short sample, and it's not even sidechain, it's just layered with a kick. I think it's sidechain just a little bit. Yeah, it's sidechain just a little bit. So yeah, that actually adds a lot of energy to the track. And then of course some white noise and stuff like that. And yeah, I also really like taking on the second drop, just take the drums out of the, especially the kick out of the first you know, couple of bars, so you know, it just adds a little bit more impact to the whole drop.
Do you love me? Do you need me?
So yeah, and then on the second part again I have this pluck melody.
Love me? Do you need me?
And from there we go into the outro. So yeah, that's basically the whole track. Really simple, but I really enjoyed making this remix. If you like the song, you can listen to it on my SoundCloud. Also, if you want to download the presets, all the links will be down in the description. So yeah, this is it for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I will talk to you soon.
Do you love me?